Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Don't Know Podcast. This is officially episode 1. I'm here with my special host, my robotic buddy, Gamer. Why don't you go into the say hi to the fans out there, Gamer?
I hope I'm still sounding robotic, otherwise that statement will sound horrible.
Knowing how this is being recorded, that's probably still going to be true.
That's
So,
great then.
Pokemon, it's been out for years and years. When you look at Pokemon,
Yeah,
what
1998, I think.
yeah, Quagsire. Look at him, he's just vibing.
Yeah, he's just a little guy.
When you look at Pokemon, what's the first starter that like comes to mind that's like I want to use this guy on my team and I want to beat the ever living hell out of people.
Oh, first starter. I usually think of a lot of the fire starters, there's Fennekin, Tepig, Charmander.
Yeah,
Although for the new gen, Scarlet and Violet, I usually think of Quaxley, that little
I like
bird guy.
the little duck. Yeah, that guy's pretty dope. Yeah, I actually can't
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for those games to come out. When I think of like a starter before like Scarlet and Violet even comes out, I think of like Mudkip or like Turtwig. I don't know why, but just that little guy is just something else. I mean, shoot, he's just
Yeah, I was never a huge Mudkip fan, but Turtwig, I absolutely love that guy.
I mean, look
He's
at him. He's just
so good.
he's just the epitome of like I'm gonna wreck your shit and you're not gonna be able to do anything about it.
I like that his evolution. He has the twig on his head, and it kind of goes to a full-grown tree on his back.
It's just like a flat out
The
mountain.
designs for the starters are all very good. I think.
Yeah, Gen 4 was pretty interesting. It was one of those, in my opinion, where you could choose any of the starters and you really couldn't go wrong. Personally, as
Hmm.
as a casual player, not one of those expert ones that are like, oh, this guy's got like all
Yeah.
these weaknesses and all that. But just
Although, even as a casual player, if you chose Infernape, he was definitely one of the few fire types in Gen 4, I think. There was only maybe like 20 or so. I could be wrong on that.
yeah, there were a good bit of fire types. What do you think Fuecoco, the new dinosaur, is gonna get in terms of typings?
Oh, jeez, that's a tough one. Uh, I'm gonna say firefighting because Pokemon loves doing that.
Like I don't.
Although, if I had to be creative, I would say oh, jeez. Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep my guts, say firefighting. I can't see anything else with them.
Honestly, the way he looks and just the way I'm thinking how this is gonna go, I feel like it's gonna go into like two separate like options, in my opinion. If it's not firefighting, it's either gonna be like fire ground, based on like the way he's designed, or just pure fire type. That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe,
I mean,
maybe. I've seen some people say he might evolve into a dragon. Like he kind of looks like that, you know. So
a,
he might be fire dragon or fire flying,
a lot
which
of
I think
people
would
are.
be cool.
A lot of people actually notice that if you notice his little hair, it looks like it's the shape of an apple, and that's gonna revolve around his evolution or something. Which I don't know if that really is true or not, but it sounds interesting. And now
I
that
think it
I
was a chili pepper actually.
chili pepper, I mean, hey, that's something else. Going with
Yeah,
the
I
theme.
think so because the typing at least makes sense.
I like how out of all the starters in there, the only reason one of them is just notably more popular is just because it's called Wheat Cat because of the shape of the face.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't dislike the design at all. If anything, I'll probably like its final evolution the most because in the past I've always the starter's first evolution I disliked the most had my favorite final evolution, which I found funny. So
Yeah.
if I hold true up with this game, then Sprigatito might be my favorite, but we'll see.
Honestly, someone actually showed a leaked. It was back on Twitter. Not always accurate, and they showed a final evolution, and it looks like something from like the Three Musketeers almost with the hat. You know those little hats. Remember like the movie Shrek with
I
Puss in
think that was a
Boots?
fan drawing, actually, because I know which one you're talking about.
It was like something in the background. It looked like it was like implemented in the game, even though it probably wouldn't be. But a lot of people are kind of curious to see what all these Pokemon turn out to be. It doesn't matter. I'm still
Yeah,
choosing Quacks to call it a day.
I think community discussion around what the final evolution for starters will be like is always the best part leading up to the games. Because, like we said earlier, the designs for the Pokemon or the trainers they are some of the best character designs you can come across in any media, I think.
So, what's your opinion on the fact that we can literally use legendaries as bikes now?
Uh, I find that to be super interesting. It opens the door for a lot of traversal in the opening parts of the game,
Yeah,
which will be super cool for replayability when you have your fourth or fifth playthrough of the game, I think.
I think it's rather interesting that like they're not even the exact same animation. Like one's actually used as a bike, and the other one's just running like it's like Fred Flintstone power.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were kind of upset about that. He doesn't use the wheels,
Yeah,
but I kind of like it,
I think it make
honestly.
it makes like a really good statement of like past versus like future kind of situation.
Yeah, if you used the wheels, it would be one, a little bit weird, and two, a lot of people were saying like kind of looks like you know how frogs when they croak or whatever they have that
Oh yeah, the little long thing out of their
bulge
neck.
in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of lizards do too.
That's kind of what that's like. So it'd be weird if that was like the wheel that moves, right?
Yeah, I think that's a rather interesting detail that not many people actually know is how whenever like lizards and all that they like protrude their necks out, and that's just what it is. And I like how they just added an extra wheel on the back, and it's like, yeah, they're bikes or something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Um, a lot of people were giving these designs flack, but honestly, the legendary designs for Pokemon have always been pretty out there compared to the rest of them. So
Yeah,
these are kind of the standard, I think. They're
yeah, a lot
just
of
giving them more attention now because they have abilities you can use in the overworld.
true enough. I mean, it's gonna be cool that we don't have to use HMs anymore, like Fly or Rock Smash or Strength anymore. We don't have to use
Yeah,
that
those
much.
are always annoying for sure.
Personally, I don't get why people get all mad whenever they say the graphics don't look that great. And I'm like, it's on a Switch for one. It's not on a gaming PC or a console. It's just on the Switch. There's
I
no.
think the thing with it is that they're releasing these games pretty much yearly, and the Switch does have better looking games. Granted, the Switch also has worse looking games, but when you compare the graphics to something like um, out of Xenoblade, it's definitely night and day with like how it looks.
It's definitely like hit or miss. There's some that are like really good, some that just can't handle the Switch. I mean,
Hmm.
honestly, I can't wait to get this game. I want to really try it out, get my team going together and all that. But it's just
Yeah, absolutely.
the box cover alone looks pretty sick. I mean, a lot of people are already guessing types for these. I mean, we already know that they're going to both be dragon types, but they're going to be dual types. So
Yeah.
my guess is Koraidon, the Scarlet Legendary, is going to be flying and dragon, and Miraidon, the Violet Legendary, is going to be electric dragon, which I think we already had an electric type dragon already, which was I think Zekrom from Black and
Yeah,
White.
Zekrom was electric.
Zekrom wasn't that bad of a legendary. It was just a lot of people really kind of hit or miss on it. I mean,
Yeah.
personally,
As much as I like Gen 5, the legendaries weren't my favorite.
he definitely looks pretty cool, though. I like the design. I like how Black and White was completely different from the games in like a different say. You never went to the Elite Four and then get interrupted mid fight by the actual bad guys. You usually just fought them and then got to the Hall of Fame. But this was just something different. And I think that was one of the few games they did really right because just wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I think Gen 5 had the best story overall too. It was very it was much darker than you would expect from a Pokemon game. And as like a little kid playing this, I was like, "Oh wow, this game is touched on some really out there topics like animal abuse." Even though Pokemon has definitely done that before, they were
No, they really had
definitely asking a lot more questions with the matter in that game. I remember.
yeah, with Gen 3's bad guys for Ruby and Sapphire literally wanting to either flood the world with water or just dry up the world. It's just like,
Yeah.
you guys want to play God? That's great, you know. I don't like
Mhm.
out of both of these legendaries from Black and White. Which ones did you act? Which one did you like, Reshiram or Zekrom? Like, what do you think?
I was a Reshiram fan because I played Pokemon Black first, I think.
Yeah, understandable.
Um,
I chose Pokemon White because I wanted Zekrom. He just looks pretty cool, and I mean, I think the downside
yeah,
between
I
the
think
two
both their
is
designs are pretty good.
they didn't even have good shinies. Really, there was not much of a
Oh
difference.
yeah, that's right. Their shinies were just kind of okay.
Yeah, they were like pretty meh, and it was kind of disappointing. There was no uniqueness to it. Whereas you had like the shinies from like Gen 3, and like I honestly wonder what the new starters are gonna look like in terms of shinies, if they're even shiny locked. You know, I mean, come on. I just hope they're not.
They wouldn't do that. But yeah, I think I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. I don't think any one of the new Pokemon are going to surpass Charizard's in terms of a good shiny. I mean, it's hard to surpass Charizard's shiny. I think it just looks very good.
In terms of how the shiny hunting has kind of gone in all the games, with how the remakes for Diamond and Pearl were, and how shiny hunting was pretty easy. How do you think they're going to tackle it in this game and the new one?
Uh, that's a good question. I think they'll introduce a new mechanic related to shiny hunting, like how they've kind of been doing that recently with there was some mechanic in Gen 6 that made shiny hunting a little bit easier, and then shiny hunting was also made easier with whatever they did in Pokemon Arceus. I can't remember what it was right now, but
The
I feel like
outbreak
they'll do
huts.
something similar.
I mean, basically, a lot of them it was just you run on the grass, and it was just a set of code that made either you got it lucky and got it, or you didn't. And now it's gone from that to hunting them in groups to a little shiny thing in the grass that shows up in like the not the black and white, the Diamond and Pearl remakes.
No, yeah.
And then the Legends Arceus, they did it pretty good because you can actually like they have like a little ding sound that plays now where you can actually hear it, and then if you don't see him again,
Yeah, in the overworld.
And it'll
Yeah,
play
there'll
again.
probably be that again.
Yeah, I just wonder how that's gonna go. I'm definitely not gonna shiny hunt in these games comparatively. I mean, I was trying to shiny hunt on the. I booted up
Do you
Black.
think there'll be a free shiny in the new game, like how there was in previous games, like the Red Gyarados or the Shiny Ponyta quest in Arceus?
That's actually a good question. I mean, I feel like they're gonna play it two ways. They might just give us more free shinies off of mystery gifts. We could just go online and grab the Pokemon from there. Or they're probably just
Yeah.
gonna, like you said, give us a free shiny at some point. I mean, anything's possible. That'd be pretty cool, but I mean, it would definitely if it's gonna be a shiny, it's got to be like a cool looking one. You know, it doesn't have to be like some green looking one, like how Espeon's purple and then it's green when it's a shiny.
Wait, do you not like Espeon Shiny?
I personally don't. I feel like it's kind of off putting.
Really?
Green-
I really like that one actually.
Well, I mean,
The
if you
off-putting that's
compare them,
it works.
you got this, which is like
Yep.
a lightish purple, and then you got this, which is pretty much a green.
It's a very saturated green, I will admit.
I mean,
but
don't get me wrong. I like how they do an inverse on the colors, like including like the gems and all that.
yeah, because they don't do that with every Pokemon. Sometimes it's like a lighter color,
Hell,
and that's
Oshawott
it.
is like a shinier, like a lighter tint of blue, and it's not even that noticeable.
Yeah,
Like
that makes shiny hunting for some
it's
Pokemon difficult, but
yeah,
with how Espeons look, it's very I don't know how to describe it. I guess alien,
yeah.
which I really like. It works for the psychic typing of that Pokemon.
Don't get me wrong, it's cool they have different colors like that, but I kind of wish it was like a different set. Like
Hmm.
honestly, I don't know about you, but if Glaceon was green and this one was like a light blue, I think I kind of like it. That's what.
Really, Glaceon being green?
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of interesting because you know how if it like snows outside and all that, you know how there's like certain patches of grass that are like frozen but not covered still. It could kind of be
Yeah,
like an implementation on that, or it's just different color schemes, man. That's all it is really to it.
I guess. I feel like green would still be pretty weird for Glaceon shiny, although I don't know what their shiny looks like, anyways.
I mean, yeah, that's respectable. I mean, I'll show you what it looks like real quick. Yeah, but I've grown up on this game for quite a while now, and it's just kind of sucks that it's not perfectly, like that's literally what shiny Glaceon looks like.
Oh, so it's just a lighter version. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one thing I wish Game Freak really wouldn't do is just don't give us a lighter shade of it. Give us something. Give us something like a little bit cooler. Like
So it stands out. Yeah,
yeah,
I get that.
I think I'm just picky when it comes to certain shinies, of course, but that's kind of abysmal in terms of shinies, in my opinion. But I mean,
Yeah, I get that.
granted, like Gen 1 was just black and white, so you really couldn't tell if it was a shiny unless a pixel popped up when you're, encountering a wild Pokemon.
Yeah, they added shinies in Pokemon Crystal, so that was the second gen remaster, I guess. Not
Yeah,
remaster, but
color
third
didn't
game
come
in
out to
that
like,
Gen 2.
I think the Hoenn region to like Gen 3, I think it was. Or no. Yeah, Gen 3, because Gen 2 was still black and white.
No, Gen 2 was Game Boy Color.
Oh no, then what am I thinking of? There was it was like way back when it was like an emulator I played, and it was Pokemon Silver or Crystal, and it was still in black and white. If I remember correctly, but I might be.
Yeah, no, Pokemon Crystal, because I'm playing that right now, it
So,
has more color than Pokemon Red and Blue.
okay, that's interesting. I didn't even know that. Huh. So you learn
Yeah, that one came out for the Game Boy Color specifically, I think, which is why they were able to implement shinies.
now you learn something new every day. Honestly, that's just pretty cool. Oh shoot, man! You ever get any of the mystery gifts for Pokemon, like the Celebi event or the Arceus event?
I didn't get any mystery gifts for Arceus because I don't have Nintendo's online,
No, I
but
mean
I
like
think I did
I'm talking
quite
like
a
before
bit
the Switch.
for.
You remember how
Hmm?
you remember how they had the ads for Pokemon on TV way back when, and then they said like you can get the mystery gift, and you either like back then you had to go to GameStop and they like do something to your DS and then put it in the game.
I remember GameStop having promotional posters up, but I don't remember advertisements on TV or anything.
I remember they did it for Black and White with Genesect. They never did it with Keldeo either, which was kind of funny.
Yeah, I definitely remember Genesect. That was when I was falling out of Pokemon for a little bit there,
Yeah,
so I didn't play Pokemon Gen 6 for a little bit until recently.
honestly, I kind of fell out of Pokemon when Sword and Shield came out for the Switch. I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, it's funny. That's the opposite for me. I kind of got back into Pokemon
Okay,
sometime after Sword and Shield, but I played that. I was like, this is really fun. And then um, Arceus came out and played that a bunch as well. So now we're
I got
here
back
again.
into Pokemon from Legends Arceus, and then it was just kind of it was
Hmm.
interesting. I like the idea that it wasn't your standard Pokemon battles. You literally had to fight to survive, or you get your ass kicked by
Yeah,
like a Gyarados or something, which I thought was
it was a
pretty
fun
cool.
change. I really liked that.
I'm not sure how they're gonna do it in this game, but I feel like for the most part,
They're
like
probably not going to go as hard with the
The graphics are
Pokemon
probably
can attack you directly, but
it's probably going to be the same engine as Arceus, but it's going to be probably the same battle mechanics and encounters like Sword and Shield, where if the Pokemon chased you, you'd get encountered into a battle. Like they're not going to attack you. I mean, come on, it's a kids game at the end of
yeah.
the day. Legends Arceus is still a kids game too, but I mean, there's no.
I
Well,
mean, they're all kids' games.
yeah, they're all kids games at the end of the day. But yeah, I feel like it kind of suck if you actually got attacked by the Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet.
hmm Yeah, maybe.
I mean, some of them weren't that bad either. I mean, there was some that could track you, others that you could easily dodge. But I mean, if they do it, they do it. It'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah, if they did, they could do it pretty well.
Oh man, I mean, there's so many things that have been added like every game. I mean, not black and white. Diamond and Pearl introduced the day-night system. Wait, for
No,
Pokemon games.
Pokemon Crystal introduced day-night system.
You sure about that? Because I remember.
I'm absolutely sure because
Huh?
I've been playing the game again.
Are you playing it on an emulator, or you have like an actual?
Yeah, emulator.
Okay. Huh. No, I keep thinking.
It's
What's it? What did
it's
Diamond?
pretty
and Pearl,
different, but it's a lot of fun, I think.
Diamond and Pearl introduced. Oh no! It introduced the Poke Watch. You know the little feature where you can like flip the coin, the calculator, and all that.
Yeah, and no other Pokemon game had that.
Yeah, I think the one Pokemon game that still stands out from the rest, personally, is Heart Gold and Soul Silver with the Poke Walker. Man,
Yes,
I
the
remember.
Pokewalk. I
I
remember
remember
that.
having that, dude. I would go to school, and I would have it in my pocket, and then I just casually walk around with this little device, and just it's like, is that a video game? And I'm like, no, and then I just hide it in my pocket because it was so small and tiny.
What I love about the Pokewalker is I think it's still one of the most accurate pedometers on. Well, it's not on the market anymore. You can't buy any new ones, but it definitely was at the time.
It was definitely interesting. Like, it wasn't too big and bulky, but it had like one of the most annoying battery types to get way back when, especially if you didn't know what the hell
Oh
it was.
yeah.
Watch batteries. I mean, dude, that was. It's like, what's a watch battery? You know what the A and AAA batteries are, but like
Oh yeah. No, I know.
that was.
I think nowadays they have that little controller that's like a Pokeball that you
Oh
can have
yeah, for Let's
Pokemon
Go
in.
Eevee and Pikachu.
Yeah, in the Let's Go games they have that.
Don't get me
That's kind
wrong,
of similar.
that does sound like an interesting concept, but I think I might have been wrong. It wasn't Sword and Shield that made me fall out of Pokemon. It was Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. Because
Yeah, that's understandable.
that
They're
was
kind
a-
of ho-hum remakes of the original games.
that was around the time when Pokemon Go was still very prominent and still growing. And just the
Mhm.
fact that it was the same AI as Pokemon Go, it just kind of seems stupid.
Yeah, and they changed up the battling system as well. So if you're playing with the regular Joy-Cons or the Pokeball remote, you wouldn't battle a Pokemon to catch it. You would just throw the Pokeball and catch it. It was very
Yeah.
different, but I think that design choice is kind of what led to us getting Pokemon Arceus, where you could just throw the Pokeball in the middle of the field, which I will appreciate for.
I'm pretty sure it was actually Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu that had the idea of showing Pokemon in the overworld. And I'm not talking like your partner Pokemon, like actually showing all the Pokemon in the overworld. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
that's true too.
Yeah. Personally, with the other games, it was cool that you had your partner Pokemon, and I think it started in like Pokemon Yellow, where you had the Pikachu out and you had him walking around with you on journeys, and then it kind of grew to where you can have any Pokemon out, and now it's pretty interesting. A lot of people are kind of pissed off about the whole partner Pokemon situation in games nowadays because the Pokemon aren't like scaled properly.
Yeah. But I mean, the Pokemon Yellow or whatever, like it wasn't scaled properly either. The Pikachu sprite would be as big as your trainer.
Yeah, but
And it was funny.
it's the same
like
set of code. I mean, if it makes it
it's a
easier,
weird thing to get mad about.
I think that's kind of fun. Like, you just got a big ass Pikachu, and he's just going back and forth.
Yeah.
But no, it's definitely changed a lot. I feel like eventually, at least me and personally, the years are gonna go by, and I'm just gonna officially say I'm done with Pokemon, and then if I have kids, it's gonna be it's like, oh, Daddy, did you hear about this game called Pokemon? I'm like, yeah, I used to play the older ones. It's like there's
I
older
can't see
ones.
myself ever truly giving up Pokemon because it's such an experimental series
I would
where the
say
developers try lots of different things.
I wouldn't
There'll always
say
be something that kind of like brings me back into it and I'll enjoy again.
I wouldn't say necessarily give up, but more or less just stop playing the games. Like I swear, I'm gonna keep seeing mentions of it multiple times over. But
Yeah,
eventually you gotta move on to something else. I mean,
I think a better release strategy for Pokemon would be having one game like Fire Emblem Three Heroes, I think it was,
three
or Three
houses, yeah,
Houses. That's what it was. Yes, where you can choose a route. If they did that with Pokemon instead of buying two games, I think that would make buying, because the Pokemon games were on DSs. They were like $40. Now they're 60.
yeah. Could you
Um,
could you imagine? What if they you choose a starter that's kind of like a route, but what if the route expanded differently? Like, what if you could only get a certain set of Pokemon with like let's say you can only get like exclusive Pokemon with Fuecoco if you choose Fuecoco, or like
mhm.
fire types attract these kind of Pokemon, grass types attract these kind, that kind of logic. What if they brought that in and then it just kind of encouraged resets and getting stuff like Pokemon Home to transfer to complete your decks?
That's a neat idea on paper, I think, but that would limit
It would limit the
what
team building
each
aspect.
player's team will look like, I think. Because if you lock a certain amount of Pokemon behind what Pokemon you chose at the start of the game, then anyone else that shows that starter will have teams looking very similar to yours. And one of the things with Pokemon is you want your team to look a certain way, or you catch certain Pokemon that you think look cool. But if you block that off because you chose a certain Pokemon at the start of the game,
Kind of
you're
ruins
going
the
to
whole
have lots
experience.
of player teams that look exactly the same. And that's,
That'd be
I,
kind of
I don't
shitty,
think that's
wouldn't
a
it?
good idea.
Oh yeah, but I'm just like I said, it'd be interesting if that happened. For the most part, what if? So, which one are you choosing? Because I'm choosing Pokemon Violet. Which one are you choosing?
I was going to go with Violet, but I'm going with Scarlet for this one.
So you think they're gonna have exclusive Pokemon between the two? So let's say like the Piglet Chonk is in your game, and then I have Paldillion
No, they
Looper
do. They
coming.
already confirmed that. I don't know which version Lechonk is exclusive to, but I know he is exclusive to one of them.
Yeah. Oh,
Although, again, I wish they would consolidate the two games into one, so
did I
you
tell
don't
you
have to
about
be
how I?
spending $160 or $120 if you want both games.
Yeah, I don't want. I'm not
It's
wasting
I,
120.
I
I'll waste 60 and not
plus with
120.
how often they release these games, it's getting a bit too expensive for people's likings.
Yeah,
I
pretty
think
much.
changing that would
I was talking to my buddy.
benefit the franchise.
I was talking to my buddy earlier this week, and I was like, "What if they just started bringing back the older Pokemon games, but charging them half price from when they were released? That way, you're not paying full for a game, but you can also get two games for the price of one if you think about it. You know how much?
I, with how expensive game development is, first off, and their release strategy for these games, I think they would actually be losing money a lot if they did that.
I feel like if you're just
Like,
porting games, you're encouraging more people to play the old games again. Because I mean, do you want another remaster or do you want the old games, old style graphics on the DS? Something that should be handled pretty easily since it's got less storage than it needs to, and it would probably be way under like maybe like 4 or 5 gigabytes instead of like 20, where the new ones are pretty much gonna
I'm
fill up
fine
like half of
without
your DS or
uh,
your Switch
complete
storage.
remakes like the Let's Go games, honestly. If they just ported the games with the pixel graphics, I would be 100% fine with that. Because quite honestly, I love the style of the older games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's
Just Just
one
port
of
the
the
older
reasons
games.
I
Just
decided to pick up Pokemon Crystal.
don't change much except just make them compatible with the Switch, and that's just it. You know, because
Yeah.
we don't need multiple remasters of every region ever again. You know, I would
Well,
laugh if they
we're not even
released.
getting remasters to each region. We're getting um, Gen 1 remakes and remasters every few years.
Yeah, could you? So I'm playing Pokemon Black 2 again, and I was trying to shiny hunt for one of the Pokemon Tepig. This little
Hmm.
guy, you know, which I'll be honest with you, his shiny is no different. It's just like the point of his tail is just partially like pink. I don't think I can even find it.
Yeah,
No,
he's
I can't
also
even
like a
find it.
lighter orange, I think.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
But he's still a great Pokemon.
No, it's nuts. I just kind of sucks. Yeah, it's pretty much just a lighter shade. I mean, look at that. That's not much of a major difference, but I mean, it's more noticeable. Don't get me wrong.
More noticeable than some other Pokemon, so it's fine.
I tried shiny
It's
hunting
nothing
for this
great.
one when I first got back on the game and started a new game and everything, and I couldn't get it. I was on it for like five. I did 519 soft resets for the DS. I got bored and I'm like, no, I'm just gonna play the game. Why am I doing this to myself? I don't need to spend like.
Oh, so you actually stopped shiny hunting.
Yeah, I stopped shiny hunting and I'm already on like the seventh gym leader.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, I got a good team going. You know, it's just shiny hunting is fun, but it's not worth wasting 6, 7 hours of your time when you can just play the game and not care.
Yeah, I get that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Eevee for one is one of those Pokemon that still has some like missing evolutions and all that, and there's just no bounds to how far you can go. I mean, they could easily release like more typings and make it so much more complicated. Like you remember when they added the fairy typing in
Gen 6.
yeah, in Gen 6, and it pretty much changed pretty much most of the typings that way, and most of the Pokemon got like a dual type.
Yeah, Gen 6 did like a lot of new things, which it's surprising that it's kind of the more disliked Pokemon game right now.
Yeah, Mega Evolution, the whole
Hmm.
training your Pokemon up on those little mini games. It's pretty
Yeah,
much it for
people
the most
love
part.
Mega Evolutions, but they still dislike X and Y, and I don't get that.
So you played Sword and Shield, right? I didn't play it, obviously. Did they still have the Battle Net from like the old style Pokemon games in that?
I don't know because I never play the games online.
Oh, you never played them online? So you didn't? You're telling me you never went to
Yeah,
a
no, I
Pokemon
don't play
Center?
online very often in Pokemon
You
games.
never just explored a random Pokemon Center in that game and be like, huh, I wonder if the Battle Net's still here.
Yeah, no, I didn't really ever battle people online. The most I would do is like trade Pokemon, and that'd be it.
Yeah, I used to be the worst at wonder trading. I would just catch Magikarps and just trade them for like Pokemon to fill my decks. Because I mean,
Yeah, I think a lot
let's
of people did that.
let's
You're
be
not alone
perfectly
in that.
honest. You're not gonna trade shinies on Wonder Trade for something that's not shiny. Now, shiny Wonder
Yeah,
Trades would be a cool feature.
yeah, that would be.
That way, you
You
literally
know,
know you're getting a shiny.
I probably got a lot of hacked Pokemon in my games because of Wonder Trading.
Oh, hacked Pokemon. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
dude. I remember when I was like 8 years old. One of my buddies, when I was doing baseball, you know the Game Sharks that you could just insert in the DS, and then you put the game
yeah.
inside that. Dude, he literally blew my mind when I was little. He would be like, "Hey, you remember the first gym leader, Rourke, the Rock type one?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "You want to see something cool?" And he's just battling like it normally does. He gets to Onyx, he just throws a Pokeball at it and it catches it. And I'm like, "What the hell did you just do?" I think you just did something illegal.
Wow.
He did like the craziest things. Like he had maxed out rare candies. He could walk through like the trees and everything, which you normally can't because they're like barricades.
Yep.
Or you could ride your bike on the water. Except now you can do that in like Sword and Shield, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, well, you know, hacks predicted the future.
Yeah, I know, right? Isn't that nuts? It's like they're like, let's put this in the game. and see if it runs out the way it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of is just replacing riding a Pokemon on the water.
Pretty much. I mean, don't get me wrong. The whole using a Pokemon as an HM slave isn't a bad idea. It's just.
Although, I will say, because it's technically Rotom, right? Your little phone that turns into the bike and the water bike. So, I mean, you are still riding the Pokemon.
I think what would have been a lot cooler is instead of having a move that centralizes around riding the water or moving rocks or even flying, that if it was like something you could teach the Pokemon and it's just a passive thing you can use instead of it being a move itself.
Mm-hmm.
Which was pretty cool. Remember X and Y, how you could ride certain Pokemon and it would show you riding them too? Like you could ride Lapras and it would actually show you riding Lapras.
Oh, yeah. Was that the first game to do that? I guess it would.
Yeah, I think so, because no other game does that. The only other games that...
Yeah, Gen 5, it was just a little sprite you'd be riding on top of.
Yeah, it was... up till like Gen 5, it was nothing but sprites, and then Gen 6 came along, and that was the case.
Yeah, Gen 6 was the first 3D game.
Yeah. Time sure does fly by. And now like Sun and Moon came out, and it's just no more HMs and TMs. There 8 TMs still exist, the moves that you can teach your Pokemon, but not the ones you needed for the actual environment.
What did you think about Sun and Moon overall?
It wasn't that bad. Definitely, it was one of those games that took me a day and a half to beat. Not really an issue, but I like the idea about the island challenges. It's something new. It's something interesting. I thought the Elite Four was kind of a joke. The theme did slap, though. It was pretty cool. The whole idea of the professor being a champion was cool, but the whole idea of just getting there and then people could just walk up to you and battle you just made me think, did they just let the Elite Four skip these guys and say, we're just going to go right to the champion? And it's like, yeah, come right in. You know? It sounds like a cool feature, but it's just kind of redundantly stupid, in my opinion.
I don't remember much about Sun and Moon. I thought those games were definitely my least favorite in the series.
I chose Moon because Lunala just looked pretty sick, you know? I mean, Solgaleo
I have Pokemon Sun.
I mean, it wasn't a bad Pokemon. I mean, literally, it just looked pretty cool. And then you had Solgaleo, which was just...
Yeah, again, nothing wrong with the Pokemon designs. They look great, but
Yeah, granted, that one's just Necrozma fused with that, but it's just... What I don't get is, why did they release a remake right after that game? Like, they did the same thing with Black and White too, or Black and White, but... At least that one kind of made sense. This one was just...
No, that was a sequel. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon was kind of that as well. It was kind of an upgrade as well, so it was kind of like a half step.
Yeah. Isn't it nuts, though, how Pokemon like Salamence even also got Mega Evolutions, too? Except Salamence just kind of looked weird. It looked like he was just hang gliding.
In Gen 6, you mean?
Pretty much. It kind of sucks too because certain features kind of got passed over. Like Gen 6 brought us Mega Evolution. Gen 7 gave us Dynamax, and now this one's like some sort of crystallization, which doesn't look bad, but it kind of looks goofy.
Yeah, I like the Terastallizing, I think it was called.
Yeah, that's what it was called, Terastallizing.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce these for jack, man.
No, it's fine. I like the Soul hats they give the Pokemon and how they look all crystal-y. It's pretty cool. Plus, they get like a new type set as well, and new moves, which I think.
I mean, it's pretty interesting. Do you know why Pikachu is a flying type in the trailer? Do you know why?
Because in Pokemon Yellow, he had the little balloons he was on.
Yeah, wasn't it like a mini game or something?
I don't remember if it was a mini game or whatever.
There was a game you could play as a Pikachu with balloons. I don't know what it was like exactly because I never played it. It was before.
I don't know what you're talking about now.
Oh, dude, I'm just.
But yeah, it's a fun callback, I think.
Oh yeah.
I know a lot of people are kind of dogging on the new gimmick the game has because the hats look maybe bad to some people, but I think a lot of people will come around and be like, oh well, it's Pokemon, it's goofy, you know,
It's
the hats are
definitely
goofy,
next.
it's fine,
It
and
makes
we
me
get some
wonder.
cool out of it.
It makes me wonder what the other typings are gonna look like because they're gonna get some.
Hmm.
There's no way they're not gonna just include three and that's it.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Oh dang. Well, glad you all joined us here for another episode of Don't Know Podcast. I want to thank you all for watching. Hopefully we
Yeah,
can
that
show some
was,
more
was
videos like
great.
this. This was really fun to talk about. Yeah. Hope a lot of you have good days and all that, and good seeing you.